Pirates go on to win this game 3-2 against the Reds, who are in the second last place in the Central. Let's go out to Joe out in Penn Hills. The Penn Hills Indians lose a tough one to Pine Richland tonight by a score of 21-0. Joe, what's up?
Hi, Richie. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling, man.
Good. Listen, I was listening yesterday to Filipponi talking to Jason Mackey, and he said, the fans, if they don't do something, the Pirates are going to lose more fans, which is good, really, for this disgusting owner. But the thing is, he said, what would you do? And he said, well, if Hurdle would go and Ray Searage go and a couple others, it would probably pacify and make the fans come back. No. It'll be the same philosophy with Huntington there. Nothing against Huntington. He tried for 12 years. It doesn't work. His philosophy doesn't work. He's not a good drafter. They do not develop. He tries. He makes us think we're stupid this time, which I don't like. He talks like a lawyer, and he's not a straight shooter, which I disrespect. But the thing is, you have to clean house. I'm 75. If I have to wait 4 or 5 more years just to get a strong situation here, I will wait if the Lord lets me live. But the thing is, if you keep Huntington and get rid of everybody else, there's going to be no change, Richie, because it's going to be his philosophy. He's the boss. We're stuck with Nutting, and they have to clean house, and Huntington has to go even before Hurdle because he just isn't doing a job.
Hey, Joe, I liked how you pointed out straight shooter. I don't think anyone over there is a straight shooter, actually. Huntington, Coonley, Nutting, maybe Hurdle is the straightest shooter of all of them right now. But, I mean, if you're looking at making changes, I think you need to make wholesale changes to get the fans back on your side. Because if you bring back Huntington and you bring back Hurdle and you bring back everyone else because you're going to try to save some money, I think that gives Pirates fans, the wrong idea. I mean, there's no hope right now. That's the way I feel. When I'm walking on the streets, people come up to me all the time, and all they do is just complain about the Pirates. You hear this show right now. We're starting Steelers season, and the lines are jam-packed with Pirates calls. That's the way it's been all summer. I belong to Edgewood Country Club. I'm up there all the time, and all they do, all the other members and the players that have come up there, all they do is talk about how they cannot stand watching the Pirates, and they don't like this ownership, and they don't like, I hear from everywhere I go, whatever I do. If I'm at the grocery store, people have come up to me, and they complain about the Pirates. It's not a good look. It can't be. If I'm one guy that's out in the city, and everyone's coming up to me about how they hate the Pirates, and they can't stand the ownership, and they can't stand the leadership, and it's tough being a fan. Yeah, I feel it. That's why I am pessimistic. I'm not optimistic. We were talking about this yesterday. It's hard to have a good feeling about next year if everything stays the same. Now, I hate to see guys lose their jobs. I never want to see that. But, maybe this isn't the right fit for these guys right now, especially because they haven't done anything. They didn't build on the 2013, 14, 15 teams. And then they were telling us about a bridge year. And then I feel like I'm being lied to. Those are the kind of things that I hear from your just fans out on the streets. So if everyone's coming up to say that, obviously you're going to see that you're going to see that in the ballpark. Like tonight, I walked out of the station. We're right across the street from PNC Park. If you walk out our back door here at KDKA, you can see the outfield. You can see basically behind home plate, and it was empty. If you had to tell me an over and under, I set the over and under 10,000 tonight. I don't know what it says on the final box, but I would say there were under 10,000 people there. It just was empty. And that's what you're going to continue to see as long as you have Bob Nutting as the owner and all these other guys still in place. I don't think you could have fireworks night every night, and it seemed like I heard the fireworks show tonight, and it sounds great. You could have bobbleheads, but I think that's over now. I think that, in a couple more years, you're going to see less and less people out there if you get the same old story. And I can't agree with you more, Joe, because I think there needs to be a change. I don't know what that change needs to be, but, if you're going to just get rid of Hurdle and all the assistant coaches, then you're going to have to get rid of the Huntingtons and the scouts and change everything. But that's going to cost a lot of money. Is Nutting willing to spend money on just buying out these guys' contracts and putting all new coaches and front office people and scouts in there? I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know where I am. I'm 50-50 on if there's going to be a change and if there's not going to be a change. And the only reason I'm 50-50 on it is because knowing how this ownership group works. All right, let's go out to Pete in Squirrel Hill. What's up, Pete?
How's my man Rich doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling, buddy. Hey,
Rich, I don't know what the attendance was, but I'm going to start putting you over and under with 3,300 because there's nobody here. Buddy.
There was more than 3,300, but, you know, it's weird because I actually drove over there today, and the bridge is hardly ever open, but it's open today. No traffic at all. You can just tell that there's no one over. It's a Friday night, and there's nobody over there.
That's what's sad, Rich. It's a Friday night.
Yeah. That's when you would expect to get a lot of people. I think that's sending these people a clear message, and that's the only thing. That's the only way you're going to see a change. And the bad thing is, Pete, that this ownership will try to, the leadership, the management will try to spin it around and make it everyone else's fault.
Well, what makes you think, Rich, your tone of delivery and try to deliver a different message?
I don't think they will, because every year I hope they do. I hope they tell the truth. I hope they be transparent. I asked Neil Huntington a bunch of times when they traded McCutcheon and Garrett Cole that one year, and I kept asking him, this feels like a rebuild. He goes, no, it's a retool. It's a retool.
Well, I got two quick questions for you if I can. Number one, what Major League Baseball is doing this weekend with that nickname weekend or whatever, did you see the back of Clint Hurdle's jersey? Not done yet. What does that mean? And my second question, where is Josh Bell's dad? Is he one of the people who sold or cashed in his season tickets? You haven't seen him for 2 months, Rich. Whenever he was getting a hit in May and June, the camera was always on him, jumping up and down, applauding him. That's Josh's dad. For 2 months now, I haven't. So maybe he worked for ExxonMobil, got transferred to Libya, and was drilling for oil. Because I said, haven't seen him for 2 months. Thanks very much.
You know what? I don't know where his dad is. I haven't been over there in quite some time. I've been spending a lot of time at Steelers training camp. And, sometimes if Josh Bell isn't doing well, maybe the broadcast doesn't focus on his dad being out there. And that could be part of the problem. He could be over there, but maybe you just don't see it because AT&T Sports doesn't have a camera on him or isn't focusing on the families in the stands. I don't know if I can't see them changing what they do, changing their message and changing their delivery, changing their rhetoric. That's just not this group, That's what they try to spin everything into a positive. Like Paul jokes around all the time. Hey, if we get rid of 10 loss games, we're going to be our run differential is going to be 0. And if we get rid of 20 10-run loss games, we're going to be 500. Yeah, that's how they spin it, and that's how you keep some fans around. But more and more you keep losing fans. You lost a whole generation of fans, but you were getting them back. This is a baseball town. This is a Pirates town. They want winning baseball back, and this ownership group refuses to give it to them. Hey, spend a little bit of money. You're going to be at $60 million next year, $70 million. Get up to 100 and 110 and prove to people that you want to win. Prove to people that it's not about money. Prove to people that you're willing to take a hit. You're going to lose some money for a couple years just to win some fans back. That's what you're going to have to do. Let's go out to Bob in Indiana. What's up, Bob?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Rich.
No problem.
There's a little situation people seem to be overlooking too. I want Hurdle gone, and I'm not a big Hurdle fan, but
I am a Hurdle fan. I really like the guy. I would hate to see him lose a job, but I mean, right now you feel like it's in hockey, and when you see something something struggling so bad that you feel like you just need a change. You need a change of scenery.
But the change isn't going to help. The problem is, as long as nothing's in charge, nothing can change because you'll get players. You can get the best pitchers in there, the best players. You got Reynolds coming up, good guy, Newman. If Keller turns around, like he looked good tonight. But as they get better, their prices go up, and then once their prices go up, they can't afford them. They ditch them again, and they're gone. So unless you get 4 or 5 players that all mesh at one time, and they have like lightning in the bottle, it's not going to go nowhere because as soon as these guys get good, they trade them off. And until they want to spend $100, $110, $115 million to keep these players, when they do get good, it doesn't matter who they bring in because they can't keep them. They won't pay them.
And Bob, in a grand scheme of things, yes, $100 million is a ton of money, but it's not a ton of money when you're a baseball owner. There's no reason that this team can't afford a $100 million payroll. And that's where I am with this whole thing. And I will not believe anyone that tells me that payroll doesn't have on the product on the field, because it does. There's no question it does. I mean, once in a while you might get these young guys that are overperforming their contracts, but eventually it's going to catch up and they're going to want paid. Yeah, it would be nice to keep guys around, but now this whole Josh Bell, I mean, you might have to start looking to do something with him in the next couple of years just to get something from him and just to rebuild his team. Now, if it's me next year, I have a feeling that if you're going to keep this group together, they're still going to be at best a 500 team, at best. But maybe it's better to get a 2-year, lose for 2 years, be transparent, try to say that you're going to win and trade to guys like Josh Bell, Vasquez, and Marte, and at least get some good guys back. I mean, that might be the only hope for this team. I don't know. I'm not optimistic about next season. I mean, it just doesn't feel like it's going to be a good season next year. We got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls and some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.